There it is.
Friday, y'all. It is going to be a good one. Another podcaster on the show talking insurance and marketing and all kinds of good stuff. We're going to end Friday on a high note, so here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros Podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business and social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business
Bros.
Yeah,
that we didn't tell her about.
I forgot about that. That's new. That's new. You don't get that on the Insurance Bros show.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Drop some fire, Ham.
All right, all you business pros out there, before we jump into the show, just a quick reminder to please subscribe on whichever platform it is that you're catching us on today. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, and drop a review, and help those other like-minded business owners find value from our awesome guests while we rise up in the podcast rankings. I will sincerely appreciate every single one of you for it. And if you want to be a guest on the show, we'd love to have you on and learn from you as well. Go to www.businessbros.biz/podcast guest to schedule your time slot. And don't forget to follow us on all our social medias at Business Bros Pod. We're so excited, so honored to bring yet another incredible guest on the Business Bros Pod. Our guest today stumbled into her niche in online advertising almost by accident. But she can honestly say that it was meant to be. Necessity breeds innovation, and after our guest was forced to shut down the insurance agency that she and her husband were operating, she stepped into her destined role as a digital marketing guru. A self-proclaimed horrible employee, our guest's entrepreneurial spirit, along with her natural talent for selling, catapulted her and her marketing agency to great success in the insurance industry and beyond. And now, our audience has the opportunity to learn from one of the best digital advertising professionals out there. So if you want to learn the secrets to selling online, you will not want to miss today's show. Joining us today out of Billings, Montana, a huge welcome to the host of the Binding Authority podcast. Welcome to the show, Sandra Gebhardt!
It's party time on Friday.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, I love you guys. I'm always like, that girl sounds cool. I want to hang out with her. Awesome.
Oh, wait, she's me.
Sandra, welcome to the program. All right, let's just jump into the first thing. I met you because you run a Facebook group. You're an admin on a Facebook group. One of the strategies I learned a long time ago was if you're going to join a Facebook group, don't jump in there and just spam the shit out of people. Go reach out to the admin, learn to meet people, connect, comment, be a human being first. Can you tell me about your background? How'd you get into this whole marketing space? And tell me a little bit about your group.
All right, I will. So first, let's address the elephant in the car, because I am in the car right now, right? Because Gage is sleeping and my husband's here and my nephew and my mom and my family, y'all, they cannot keep it together. So I used to really stress myself out, and I was like, I have to get, in the right spot with the right light and all of that stuff. And I would be a hot mess. And now I'm like, you know what? Forget it. Like, this is where we are at in life. So I am literally in the car jamming with you guys. Now, I can't mean that guarantees that one of my crazy ass family members won't come knock on the door and be like, hey, do you know where the ketchup is?
Oh, hell no.
So embrace where you're at. That's my first tip to everybody in the world. You can do your business from anywhere, literally.
That's one of the blessings of COVID, though, right?
Yes. People are starting to understand that now. But you can definitely, you don't have to have everything just right. Just go.
Losers always whine about their best.
That's right. Thanks, Sean. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Back to your original question. So I, like we said in the intro, I got into digital marketing. I started digital marketing when I was a salesperson for an agent, and then moving into running our agency, it just clicked for me. I'm really good at cold calling. I can cold call all day long, but that just wears on a person after a while. So I started using digital marketing techniques and just really fell in love with it. Hired some mentors in Bobby Stocks and Rob Sakel, and they just really helped me take my game to the next level when we were in a very fragile position. My husband had been diagnosed with a brain tumor. We found out we were pregnant, even though the doctor said we couldn't. And so I had a lot of really big life changes going on and needed to find something that I could do from home. That was my goal. And got into this, and it has evolved, y'all. It has been a huge, amazing journey where, like everybody else listening to this that runs a business, one day you're like, this is awesome. This was the best thing I ever did. The next day you're like, oh my God, I need to go get a real job. But like I said, I'm a terrible employee, so that's not going to work either.
But you got into this marketing space, so I want people to understand what you mean when you say digital marketing, because honestly, we're doing it right now. Like, we're literally putting on a show every single day. I connected with you, and if it wasn't for the podcast, I probably never would have connected with you. That's opened up and this is just one door, one avenue, and I don't know what the future holds. You know what I mean? There could be some sort of partnership or some sort of client that we work on together. I don't know what the future holds, but it's opened up a door. What do you mean by digital marketing?
So digital marketing in my definition is creating relationships, exactly that, creating relationships with people through digital means. So through Facebook, through social media, through podcast interviews, through videos, through teleconferences, through Zoom, all of that stuff, you can create real working relationships with people and open up your entire world. I have business partners, true actual business partners that I work with that I've never met in person, but we're running actual programs, actual coaching programs. The women I coach, I've actually only ever met one of them. Ironically, she went to high school together and works for a gal that bought my program. So you don't have to meet people in person to make a long-term lasting impact on either the business they buy from you or the business you do with them. So it doesn't matter if you're in B2B or B2C, people will feel connected with you as long as you put yourself out there, and digital means make it free.
Dude, okay, so I want to kind of hover on this. First of all, free is amazing, right? But when it comes to digital, a lot of times people get lost. They hear social media and they think Facebook, they think posting, how do I get follows, how do I get likes, and they lose the main purpose of what it is. It's social. It's you interacting with people. It means you got to be human. It means when you scroll, like, I don't know about you, but like when I pick up my phone, it's rare that I actually get on social media to consume content. And if I do, I don't go by post without commenting. Even if it's something like a thumbs up or whatever, I leave comments like crazy, because I believe that when people post something, the one thing they're asking for is attention. They're asking for you to look, to comment, to share, whatever it is. And it's only human of you to say, oh, I appreciate the time you took to post something or to take that.
Oh, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. And you're always right.
And that's the human connection. That's where it begins. It's not I post and I get dollars. There's a completely different ROI.
Yes, exactly. So there's two components to that. When we're talking about ROI, we're talking about, that's when you get into kind of the nitty gritty of the lead generation, right? But when we're talking about creating relationships, it's the exact same. And the way I coach it is exactly the same as if you're going to a networking event. So if you walk into a networking event and you don't talk to anybody, you go and get a cocktail, you hang out at the buffet, and you talk to your best friend, then was that networking event successful, right? You wouldn't do that because you're physically taking the time, burning the calories, all of that kind of stuff to go do it. So you walk up to people, you talk about their business, you ask them questions, you ask them about their kids, and you have a conversation. And you have to do the same thing on social media platforms. Any videos that you put out, you have to put a little bit of emotion into it, right? We always on social media, I say you take your unique personality and you just turn it up a little bit, right?
Yes.
Like you don't start every phone call with "What up?"
Well, unless you're calling me, that's exactly how I answer the phone. What's up?
So that's awesome. But so you turn it just up just a hair on Facebook and social media to gather people's attention, and they can interact with you. It's like a television program, right? You have to give them a little bit of yourself. That's why we feel connected to celebrities and stuff. They play these roles and we get physically and emotionally involved with the role that they're playing, and you're doing the same thing. You're drawing people into your personality, into your world, the same way you would interacting at a networking event. Or I always say, our in my binding authority coaching program, our goal is to become the Kardashians of insurance, right?
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
it. And
That's
the
it.
Kardashians share almost everything with us, right? As much as they want us to know. Some of it's dramatic, some of it's not, some of it's inspirational, but it really can just model what they're doing.
Well, let's stop right there for a second, because here's where I think there's a disconnect, right? People see the Kardashians, for example, and I've been guilty of this the same way. I'm like, I don't want to watch that show. That's just stupid, right? But the other day, and it's not just the Kardashians, almost any reality TV show, anything you see, like Housewives of whatever, it doesn't matter. They're all the same type of show. They're taking what's trending out in the world, whatever's happening in reality, right? Whether it's COVID, whether it's somebody who passed away, whatever's going on, and they open up a door for you to see something specific. And this is where I think people fall off when it comes to social media. They're like, I don't want the world to know what I'm doing. I don't want the world to follow me and know all my deepest secrets. Well, then don't freaking post those, right? Like, you have control, 100% control over what you want people to see. If you want people to see you as a down hard, working out every single day, push-ups and sit-ups, then that's what you post every single day. That's all they're going to see about you. That's all they're going to know about you. If you want them to know that you are in insurance, guess what? Post information, education, whatever it is that you're doing in that space. If you want to be trendy and funny, then that's what you're posting. You're opening the door to your audience for them to see a story that you're posting. It's whatever. You're the director. You're the producer. You're the director. It's your show. What do you want to put out there? I just believe that you should put something out there. If you're in business, you need to have something put out there. What are you telling people about, modeling those Kardashians? How do you explain it to them so they kind of take that concept in and run with it?
Yeah, you're killing it. You're doing it. I love it, because it's connecting with people, right? If people, and you have to bring some of yourself into it. And people are so skeptical of that. Now, if you had a fight with your husband this morning, the world doesn't need to know about that. It's fine. Now, I will take and I'll share funny fights. Which comes up every year. I'm going to show you guys an example. About 2 years ago, my husband, we saw they had Cool Whip with cookie pieces in it, Oreo cookie pieces in it. And I was like, oh my God. He was like, we should get that for the pumpkin pie. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That sounds terrible. Like, and we really bickered about it. But I didn't
Get in my belly.
Got into this huge bickerment in the middle of the grocery store about Cool Whip. What I did was I posted, settle an argument. Would you eat cookie Cool Whip on pumpkin pie? And that was back when we could do the polls. And
Yes.
92% of people said no, that's disgusting. But 8% said yes. So every year when that pops up, I'm like, remember that time I was right?
Yes.
No, you weren't 100% right. So
Well, first of all, for your husband to disagree with you at all, he's already in the wrong, right? So I had this discussion with a couple yesterday that was on the show, Dina and Don, and I was like, look, it's not that you can't ask for something. When you've been married for any length of time, you understand that it's how you phrase the question that matters the most, right? You can't just go out and tell your wife she's wrong. First of all, even if she's wrong, she's right. So that's hands down, right? That's always going to work out that way. But second, what you're describing there is a perfect example. You didn't actually talk about what he said and how you're putting him down. You're just bringing out this small little debate and putting it out there, right? Nobody knows that you were fighting about it. Nobody knows that you're having an argument at the store. Nobody knows that maybe he, threw some backhanded remark at you, and it doesn't matter. That's not the important part. The important part is you pulled little pieces of what's important and you engaged your audience. You gave people an opportunity to be a part of your story. And that's different than just posting. You gave them the opportunity to be a part of it. When hovering on that, that's one of the creativities pieces that I think a lot of us miss, and we miss the opportunities a lot. And I do the same thing. The other day I went to cash a check for a commission check. I went to take it to the bank. That was a perfect opportunity to talk about how excited I was, and where I should have asked something like, where would you bank at? Would you, if you were me, would you deposit it at Chase or Wells Fargo? I don't know, whatever it is. But the ability to bring the audience into your story, how important is that?
That's huge. People want to give their opinions. People want to feel like they're, like you're saying, part of your story. So you could do 20 different posts off of that, right? Like, I've got an extra $200 out of this commission, and I want to buy myself something to celebrate this milestone. What would you buy? What's trending right now? What's exciting? And you can have a lot of fun in doing that and bringing people into that story and letting them kind of give you feedback. You can post silly things like, oh, I went to deposit the check, but I tripped over the curb on the way in, and I was like, yeah, I was full of swagger going in and felt like a knucklehead coming out. Just let
It's a good thing I
people
was wearing a
know.
mask.
Yeah, right. Let people know your humanity, what's going on. I just literally, before I jumped on this, I just posted a tip, a public announcement that you can't sharpen eyeliner with a regular pencil sharpener. You've got to use an actual eyeliner sharpener, and you can't fix it with your pocket knife either, because it still gets little slivers and it hurts your eye. So, and people look at that and they'll say, well, I'm not going to make any money off that post. But people want to engage with you. People are always, no matter what the world does, I stand firmly on this. People will always do business with people they know, like, and trust. And if you sell a product that I can go on to, like insurance, 1-800-insurance, and I can buy it from my computer without having to talk to anybody, I'm more likely to do that unless I have a personal connection with somebody that sells the same product, right? I can buy lipstick from a million different places. I buy lipstick from Kristen Eichhoff because she has a vested interest in my life, and she shares her life with me, and she helps me, and she brings additional value, and she posts all of that on Facebook and lets me know, if you want to be one of my customers, this is how I take care of my customers. This is a peek into my day-to-day life. These are my core beliefs that I take a stand on. And
I think we lost your audio. I can't hear you anymore. But I'm gonna, while you get that squared away, I'm gonna talk about that, because I still can't hear you, because the what you talked about was know, like, and trust. So hop in here with James with me real quick. So we were talking about know, like, and trust, and what Sandra was describing was a couple different phases, and I think we always fall off on that. We understand the know part, right, and we understand the posting part. We post a lot on a regular basis. See, can I hear you now?
all right, you got me now?
There you go. I got
Yeah.
you back. So you were talking about the know, like, and trust part. And I really like that aspect of what you're describing, because I think those are three separate pieces that people are heavy on one and maybe forget some of the other ones. The know part. You hear this all the time, and this is something that we fell victim to at the beginning, but it's worked out in our favor over time. We've modified and adapted. You're episode 626. So people who've been in my space, in my circle, know us. Right? That's number one, knowing, because you're consistently putting stuff out there. Liking is a little bit different, right? Liking is that vulnerability factor that you're talking about. I'm not just the guy behind the mic. I'm also the guy who has kids. I'm also the guy who goes to soccer practice. I'm also the guy who runs and works out in the morning. I'm also the guy who falls down. I'm also the guy who's, wearing flip-flops on the outside. I'm also the guy.
I'm your huckleberry.
Like, all these regular connections that the vulnerabilities that we have, that's how we're connecting with people. But how do we build that trust, right? So we know the consistency factor. We're understanding the vulnerability. How do we build that trust?
Trust can be built in a few different ways. You can leverage trust you have from other people, testimonials, client wins, client successes that you've had in life. So a lot of times where I see people break their trust, the quickest way on Facebook or any social media platform, any podcast, anything like that, is to take a stand on one specific thing. Let's say mask, because they're really popular right now. I would never wear a mask. Masks are stupid. You're a sheep if you wear a mask. And they take that stand. And then 3 weeks later, they have to get on an airplane and they have to put a mask on. And for some reason, they take a picture of it. that will break your trust with your audience, because some people resonated with that. Some people either one, respected the fact that you took a stand, or two, they agree and you're kind of their role model in why they're not going to wear a mask. And then boom, you don't have one on.
Hypocrisy.
So yes, you can break trust that way. But building it up is just, again, in that consistency and sharing other people's trust that they have in you in testimonials. And the consistency, I keep saying it, you keep saying it, the consistency is the biggest part.
Another way I've always thought about building trust, and this is something that I mentioned already, but it adds to that. It's when you're commenting and liking other people's stuff. And
Yes.
I try to stay away from the liking part. Liking's cool. You can give a little like, but it falls short. The thing I always look out for are those people who post and they have, 3 or 4 hearts, or they have 3 or 4 likes, and they have like no comments, right? It reminds me of high school. In high school, I was like the captain of my baseball team, right? I wasn't like a super popular kid, but I wasn't.
That's cool, baby. I mean, you know how it is.
but I wasn't the small kid, and I wasn't I was very much a jock. I was very much athletic, right? And I would always see sometimes some of these jocks picking on some of these smaller kids, and I would always be the one who comes up and like, dude, no, that's not cool. Like, stand up for the little guy. And I feel like that over time is one of those character things that has pushed me going forward, and I continue to do that today. I find people who have great messages that I know can be amazing if they were just to share that content on a regular basis. And so I pick on them a little bit, and I challenge them a little bit. I'm like, look, your message is great. Look, what you're doing is awesome. I really wish you would share this with more people. And some of them have stepped out and they started to do things like that. And now they have their own, I have a few that have their own daily shows. I have a few that have their own weekly therapy sessions or whatever they do on a regular basis, and they're growing their following. They've built that confidence that they're able to do something. I believe that's super powerful, and I believe that's the way to grow trust. And I also feel like doing it one person at a time is not the easiest, but it's gained the most traction for me. And I know at some point in the future, I'm going to hit some viral thing and it's going to take off even faster, give you some of that catapult. But growing one person at a time, what do you think about that strategy? Uh-oh. I think I lost your audio again.
One more time.
One more time. Oh, Sandra, I can't hear you. Dude, it's so funny. This is one of the flaws of the post-COVID era is we have internet issues from time to time. And we do a live show. Dude, so this is what you get, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you get when you do a live show. Sometimes we have some technical, we have to change things up a little bit, but we modify, we roll, and we adapt. I'll tell you what, Ham, though, when we first started in the space, if this were to happen like in episode 60, I would have been super flustered.
Oh my gosh, we would have been stuck.
I wouldn't know exactly what to say. I wouldn't know exactly where to go. Nothing. Now at least we can kind of ad lib and make our way through
with it. We just gotta flow with it.
So,
I wanted to play this. What's that?
What do you think of the one person strategy? What do you think of the being able to grow one person at a time? We'll shift it to this.
Well, first of all, I think it's slow.
It is slow.
But it's like we always say: if you want to get rich quick, get rich slow. It works. I mean, it might start off slow, but I think it's like a snowball effect too, where the more impact that you have, and especially the way that you're talking about it, continuously engaging with your specific audience and trying to get people to respond to that, it is one person at a time, but it will snowball and continue to grow. Is she back?
She's going to try to come back. There it is. Not quite yet. We got to wait till her picture comes back. And then once her picture shows up, we can pop her back in, dude. And here's the thing about the growth one person. I think that also gives me the ability to like enrich that relationship, right? So like I get to know people one interview at a time, but then we connect on a different level, right?
Yep.
So Sandra, we get to actually meet twice. So what a lot of people don't know is we actually had her on your show first. Right. Yep. On the Insurance Bros show. And then I was like, dude, you're so awesome. I think I need to have you on the Business Bros. Sandra, you back?
We think.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Like a Verizon commercial. Yes, we can. All right, Sandra, we were talking about that trust part. So, and the last thing I left off, and I kind of discussed it with James. I'm growing my relationships one person at a time. That way we do it on the podcast. What do you feel about growing those relationships one person at a time? Shaking, essentially digitally. Yeah, we can hear you. Digitally shaking one person at a time. Can you hear me?
Nope. I ruined the whole show.
Oh, that's okay. It happens. No worries. I know I can hear you, but you probably can't hear us.
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
What? What?
Say what one more time.
Me? Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you for sure. Oh well, oh well. Oh, we lost her. All right, all right.
I don't know what I did. I can only see one of you guys. I'm not sure if I'm talking over you.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll
Finish it out. We'll close it out.
We'll close it out for you. Don't worry, Sandra. So
I'll say this: if you guys want to hear more about Sandra's story, head on over to the Insurance Bro Show, where we actually did have a full interview, and you could definitely learn more and listen to what she's got to say there.
Dude, and check out her podcast. She's interviewed some great people.
Yes.
I was listening to her
Binding Authority
episode.
podcast.
Yeah, Binding Authority podcast. I listened to her episode with Nick Carpenter, and one of the main reasons why I listened to that episode was because he is the founder of the Legion of Loan Officers.
Oh,
and
nice.
so I'm going to reach out to him and kind of get him on the podcast too, just because what we were talking about in the last episode before we had our open show with guest show up is we're targeting the lender space. So getting to know people like that on a network basis, that's how we want to do. Let's see if we can get her on. Let's see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Kinda. I don't
Okay,
know.
you talk.
Tell us how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, tell us how to get in touch with you. No. All right. Well, no worries, Sandra. We tried. Look,
How about this? Go ahead.
What you guys can do is go to Sandra's website, sandragebhardt.com. You can follow her on social media at Sandra Gebhardt 406. She's amazing. I promise you. I mean, we probably won't have technical issues on the post that she's posting, but she's got great information to help you guys build your digital audience. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about getting to know people on a regular basis, and she is an expert at doing that. They're the people who are gifted with the gift of gab, right? And here's the thing. For some of us, it was naturally given, and trust me, it was not naturally given to me, but it's something that you can develop over time. I've gotten better at it because I've practiced it. I've gotten better at it because we get on the show on a regular basis. I've gotten better at it because when mistakes happen, when technical issues happen, I find a way to push through. It's uncomfortable. Yes. Trust me, I would rather have a show where we had zero technical difficulties. Of course, I want it to be as flawless as possible, but that's not what life is going to give you all the time. So, set your standards. This is something I was talking about today, Ham. Setting your standards and making sure that you're accountable for what it is that you do. Our standard is that we're going to show up every single day. We'll take small breaks here and there. We got no guests scheduled for the last 2 weeks of December. Doesn't mean we're probably not going to do a show. We're still going to show up, not Christmas Day, not Christmas Eve, probably not Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and day after Christmas, but we'll be here for those other days because that's what we do. That's the standard that we've set for ourselves. That's the consistency that we expect of ourselves. And hopefully that's the reason why you guys know who we are. That's the reason why you hopefully like the show that we put on or like our personality types. And that's the reason why you do business with us. So before we go, I want to make sure that we plug a little something here. We've started doing a little something to help businesses out. The best thing you can do to grow your business, to get more sales, is to turn the customers that have already done business with you into your Salesforce. So we're offering
Yes.
you guys the opportunity to do to get testimonials, turn your customers into your Salesforce. It's vitally important. Today, you can't shake hands. You can't go out and network as much as possible. You're still doing business. That means clients have been happy with what it is that you're doing. So get out there and show them that you're doing something, but not out of your mouth. Let your clients do it for you. Let your clients sell your product or service for you. Testimonials that look like this.
I have a family, I have bills, I have a team, but I can just say this, in all honesty, Steve is worth every penny. My name is Erin Pfeiffer, and I am a realtor by trade, but I am also a team lead. So I lead a team of agents here in San Diego. I'm on track to double my sales from last year, and I really think it has everything to do with the coaching that he's offered me. I had been a realtor and a successful one, but only by myself. And I was eclipsing into this new phase of my career, and I felt like I needed his guidance. My biggest breakthrough with Steve was the daily huddle. He showed me that there is a way to not micromanage, but to lead. And one of those tools that he uses is the daily huddle. And the daily huddle changed everything. Appreciate that he came into my life kind of randomly and unexpectedly, but I can't imagine my life without him now. And despite his youthful appearance, he has the knowledge and the experience of a wizened, wise old man.
Look,
I love
victory
that
selling is
youthful appearance.
Yeah, victory selling is Steve Harut's product. Look, there's a lot of people just like that. We did 10 different testimonials for Steve. We got 10 different people touting his praises. That means when you go to his website, you're going to see other people, not him telling you how great he is, other people who have gone through his course, who have elevated their business, who have achieved the success that you want to achieve, but it's other people telling you how awesome that is. Imagine your website looking like that. Imagine your clients talking about you in that same exact way. That's what you want as far as your marketing is concerned. So make sure you guys hit us up. Go to businessbros.biz/testimonials for your testimonial package. And then Sandra's here telling us, I get it. It is Montana internet. It is not the easiest thing to get over when you're out there in the sticks trying to get on the internet and it's cold outside and you're in your garage. But hey, thank you for taking the time to come on the show, Sandra. We appreciate you. I'm glad I got you for a few minutes at least. Ladies and gents, that's all we got for you guys today. It's Friday. Go enjoy your families. Enjoy the weekend. We look forward to having you guys on the show again on Monday. Sandra, thank you again for coming on the show. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, ladies and gents. Peace. And we're out.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@cfirst.com to schedule a free consultation or join the Business Bros Network, www.businessbros.biz.